Okay, when I see a chair, I could swear my children's life that there is a carpenter without knowing the carpenter. Okay, no way, shape or form the chair would make itself. So there is an argument because we become strands of opinion. In other words, we started from one and then we become lots of different families. And each one of us have a different strand of ancestry memory, genetic memory that is in your middle brain. So it's not just what you learn in this world since the day you were born, achieving. You have a knowledge that is going all the way to the one that was created through your ancestry. You have their experiences, you have their knowledges, you have the learning of life and everything. You just need to tap into that middle brain, the stem. And many times when people tap into the middle brain and receive information, they think they're receiving information from God. No, they're receiving information from their genetic memory. Come back to this idea of this light that we're talking about, and the scientists now talking about quantum physics, right? When we will be able to manipulate subatomic particle, we will be able to create things without even moving physically. We will move them in a laboratory. Do you understand? Imagine making a tunnel through a mountain or moving a mountain by manipulating subatomic particles. Amazing, amazing stuff. Much more than what we can conceive or comprehend at the moment. However it is, each one of us, whatever knowledges we have, we are part of the whole of the knowledge. So if you got an Indian knowledge of Hinduism, meditation and pure consciousness and all that, that is a strand of the totality of the knowledge that we need. But we need to merge together to one knowledge. And that knowledge is going to be something interesting. It's not about choosing which knowledge we're going to be. It is merging all the knowledges together, because each one is part of what knowledge was and what knowledge is, purely that. So nothing is excluded. But there is also the knowledge of delusion. And the knowledge of delusion is very much working against that. So if you study the last 100 years, what is it that made this last 100 years so, in a way, successful, in that we progressed from discovering how to fly to a jumbo jets and the technologies that we have today within 100 years? The same potential we had 2,000, 3,000 years ago to achieve. Why didn't we achieve it 3,000 years ago? Because societies are dealing with conflict and are dealing with going against the strand of who they truly are and trying to basically fight it. Okay? Not agree with it. So the whole idea is that one is the most powerful number in the world. When you are one, you do not have conflict. When you are one, you know that your legs are necessary for yourself to walk somewhere, and your hand is also as equally necessary to do something, to cook for yourself or to create something. And then the head is also important, because without the head there is no life. So on and so on, and each one of us is part of that whole that is one. So be it the hand, so be it the leg, so be it the head. We say in Hebrew that we will be a head and not a tail. Okay? We also say there is nothing new under the sun. So all the technology we have today, they had it before. They had it before. So if I describe what the Torah teach me about Adam, it described me in some way two kind of reality. One, the creation of the one that God created, and then the society that existed, the plural society of Adam and Eve. If you imagine, for example, Europe and America. Europe is Eve and America is Adam, and they have a peace treaty, and something happened one day and they become a fight. They did not see each other anymore as one, and was a mistake. Well, I don't know how it happened, but they caused themselves a doomsday. And a new life cycle started. The next minute you got Cain and Abel. And I see Cain killing 3.5 billion people. I see Cain as a society that killed half of the population of the world. I don't see just Cain a singular person. Although I see it also a singular person. Because it starts with a singular person and it goes to brother, and then your brother is you. God says to Cain, where is your brother? And he says, am I my brother keeper? Fact of the matter, yes you are. And it's wrong thing to say, am I my brother keeper? You are your brother keeper. So when you walk in the street and you see somebody asking for money, it's you asking money through him. I was in a Christian room not long ago, and DKS, I told the DKS, when your husband making love to you, it is me making love to you through him. And she bounced me from the room. You can go that kind of radical, but that is the actual fact that what we are. When we accept that, we will progress some more further than what we're doing at the moment, wasting our resources on conflict rather than wasting it on the real things like finding a cure for cancer. And the example of cancer is very important because cancer is the biggest killer in the world, the biggest enemy we have. 1 out of 3 people suffer from cancer. So we should put all this amount of soldiers, all the amount of money that we put to weaponry, we should put it into finding a cure for cancer. I'm hearing India is going to Mars or starting a program to achieve going to Mars, and I'm saying to myself, oh my God, these people don't get it. Honestly, they don't get it. Put your resources towards getting rid of poverty, and there you are going to Mars. What for? We know what's in on Mars, or what we're going to discover there. And now the scientists saying, no, don't go to Mars, go into inner space. At the moment we can go 1 billion of a millimeter in a sense of microscopic, and we still not found the smallest particle there is. And with your mic. With all due respect, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. We all teach and preach religion. You are teaching and preaching a faith. Okay, an Indian faith, Hinduism, and in very much way you are talking about it. Okay, so let's not say against religion. What religions become have a kind of like a problem in the heart of many people, because a religion become something that cause conflict, and I agree with you. However it is, there is a knowledge in religions where it's not a religion, it's a way of life. I am talking to you that I am a believer of Orthodox Judaism. I very much go 100% to study Torah, Zohar, and everything that is knowledge. Hebrew is not just a numerology language, is also a scientific language. Language that you can go to science and compare it and find truth. Okay, so to say that there is more than one truth, I don't think so. I think there is one truth, but we all have to merge to that truth. And that truth belongs to everybody that is particle of that truth. Like I told you, we're all strands of ancestries. And each one of us hold a lot of clutter, but also the pure truth. However it is, I wanted to talk about vegan, like somebody mentioned, that in Judaism we have the dietary law. According to the teaching of our rabbis, they are talking about that before the flood, people used to be vegetarians. People used to be very advanced, a lot more advanced than what we are today, in the sense of computers and all the technologies that we have. One thing for sure, they lived life without sicknesses, and they live a longer life than us. Adam lived 930 years old, and I absolutely believe that we have the potential of achieving and mastering medicine to bring this kind of generation that will live to 1,000 years old and then manage to achieve knowledges that is beyond our comprehension at the moment. However it is, right, we in a natural sense are vegetarian people. That's why we Jewish people have dietary law, where you have to eat an animal that is specific in a sense of eating straw and producing meat. Because when people came out of the flood and were in a position of water receding, there were no vegetation, so they start eating meat. And that meat that they ate caused some kind of a genetic disorder and cause people to start naturally, in the sense of their body, duplicating cells that are broken. Okay, that is the cause of cancer. So preventing cancer is not just finding a cure for cancer, because many people have genetic in them to have cancer. However it is, what we are taught is that we have to eat animals that specifically eat straw and not meat. We human beings eat meat and we eat vegetables and we can eat anything we want, right? But we also digest the food in a specific way, like pigs, like many other animals. Vultures, they eat meat. And those animals that we eat are the ones that make the makeup of the health that we keep during our life. If you feed cows with meat, you will get mad cow disease. If you feed chicken with meat and not grain, you get bird flu. And then you are consuming those chickens, and next minute you got the production of broken cells that in turn make cancer. And scientists today getting to understand that, because you can take an artery from a pig and implant it in a human being, because genetically speaking, pig is the most closest animal to human being genetic. So imagine when you're eating pork, you are eating human flesh. You are being a cannibal. Would that make you a choice not to eat pork anymore? I'm not going to force you or tell you, but I tell you, if to eat, not drink poison, I don't need to make a law for that. You will know for sure. To eat human flesh, you will not need a law because it's wrong. And the same thing eating dogs or cats, because they are pets. So do I need to make a dietary law? No, I don't need to make a dietary law, but I need you to understand that what you consume as food is very much the one that keep you healthy and the one that you have to be concerned about. Like if the animal is treated well, like free range is very good for you, because if the animal is living a disastrous life and then coming to your plate, that energy of that disastrous life, you are consuming it. So we need to care that the cow we bring and for food consumption are being treated in a civil, humane manner. Okay, so all this is connected together to bring prolonging of life, and I hope I make sense in that what I say. So please don't tell me not talk about religion, because we are all talking about religion, even if we're talking about pure consciousness. Pure consciousness is a faith. Spirituality is a faith. Vegan is a faith. Paganism is a faith. But some people comfortable talking about spirituality as long as you don't tell them it's religion. So, okay, I'll talk to you about Judaism, but I will not tell you it's religion. It's a way of life. Mic is free. Yes, just 1 second. Yes, I know what you mean. And it's the competitive nature of human. And it's also the tribal mindset. So how do we solve the problem? We go out from the blame game. And we start to understand what happened in the past and take correction. Let's not be the unrepentant creature that Adam was. Adam said to God, the wife you gave me did it to me. In that he blocked any ability of God, although God is unlimited in his abilities, but God had to make Adam understand that now he has to go and learn by himself. Go and do all the transgressions you like. When you finish doing the transgression, you will get to point 1, and that is correction. In other words, at the moment we're playing the blame game. The Muslim that God gave us did it to us, or the Christian that God gave us did it to us, or the Jews that God gave us did it to us, or the Hindus, or the atheists, or I don't care who. The actual solution is to understand that no matter what, factually speaking, human did it to human. And we cannot be wrong about that, that's for sure. I mean, we got 9/11 and they're already arguing who did it. So who did it? Human did it. Human did it to human. And then human gone to Iraq and did it to the Iraqis. That is the game that is going on. And it seems that they can spend so much resources of human in that kind of conflicts that they can't understand that it's all a loss and a waste of time. It's foolishness. It's idiotic. So if we really want to stop the conflict, we should start saying, human did it to we human. We, humanity, did the mistakes of the past, and we have to take correction of the past. We have to, each and every one of us, to blame Hitler that he was an animal. Excuse me, I love animals, okay? Don't insult animals, thank you very much. He was a human, like all of us, so we all have the same potential of that kind of savagery and evil, because we are that humanity that did the Holocaust or the crime of the past. Enough is enough. Let's learn the lessons of the past so we don't repeat those mistakes in the future. So our children will be born to a certain world rather than in certain world. In that I'm very emotional and I'm very kind of like upset. But I can tell you clearly, I see the stupidity going about and I see the excuses men make to make more conflict, and I want the end of all conflicts. I want to outlaw war. I want to make United States of the Middle East. And this conflict standing in front of me, because my number one enemy is America. How I'm going to discharge America from being such a country that ran to conflict quicker than what they ran for their own healthcare, and then they shut down the government. That's ironic that to a basic necessity that humanity has to provide its people, it's becoming kind of like a target of shutting down the government, and then the whole running to Syria to intervene and being in the side of the rebel. I spent 2 days ago a whole day watching videos that were sent to me specifically from specific people about Syria, from inside of what's going on for real. And I tell you, I'm disgusted. And I can't be more disgusted for myself being part of that humanity. Yet again, I have no choice. And I have to change that it is humanity. And I have to bring light to understand that we should work for each other's benefit, for each other's quality of life, to finish poverty. If I would have taken the $12.5 trillion that America spends since 9/11 and put it to the 100 million American people that are the poverty in America today, I would provide 100 million people with housing and electricity and gas and healthcare without shutting down the government. You see, the war, they did not go to shut down the government. They're going out to the conflict just like that. Human impulse. And human impulse belong between our two legs, not in a sense when we go out to war and deal with prematurely killing people. Because every person in this world is potentially an Einstein that we are at loss. Potentially a person that will bring a sincere cure, not just a talk, a sincere cure to cancer. So, your mic, Mr. Wiz. Well, you want to talk about internet conspiracy theories. I don't know about Rothschild. I never heard them controlling Israel or controlling the weather, and that's why it's cold in the winter. But many people want to believe so. Okay, this is kind of like believing in many other things that they want to make confusion in this world. I rather talk about solution to this world. An applied solution productively and efficiently, looking at the problem, studying them, and plucking out the problem. So how I'm going to solve the problem? Everybody is not happy with the Muslims all around the world. Talking about in Russia, I saw yesterday, they're protesting that there is too many Muslims in Moscow, and they got too many Muslims in Europe, and they got too many Muslims in America. So we will make the United States of the Middle East, and we'll solve all the problem. We'll call all the Muslims to leave America, to leave Europe, and to leave Russia, and come and live in the Middle East. We will give them what I tell you: free housing, free electricity, free water, and free healthcare, and we will not shut down the government in the Middle East. We will be something like 1.6 billion people of a country. The most powerful country in the world, a country of milk and honey. Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think it's a dream? No, it's going to be implemented within the next 2 years. If it's not, the world will go into a World War III, and then we will start all over again, a cycle of life where everything will start again. All what we have will be destroyed completely, and we'll start pyramid again, Egyptian, Jewish people, whatever, and then another 5,000 years until we'll get to the point of computers, and maybe then we will not make the same mistakes of our ancestors. Because our ancestors did it in the past. They created the flood, okay? So we are only in a cycle of another life that started, and we achieve what we achieve, but we are going to destroy it with World War III. And we, each and every one of us, have to stop that. And I take a stand for stopping World War III. Because the situation in America is that within about a year from now, you will have anarchy ruling the streets of America. And I'm not joking with you. With $17.5 trillion debt within until March, which is April, the budget come in with the American, right? You will have $40 trillion debt. And send an email to Obama and tell him I said so. Right? And he will tell you I'm right. Because the American greed is old. Things will happen in America that never seen before. But let's hope we will learn the mistakes of America and not repeat them somewhere else. One thing for sure, I want to promote that is United States of the Middle East, to make sure that we will not we'll learn the mistakes of America, and we will not allow it to continue. Not in the Middle East. So we will have that country that is written, that will be from the Nile all the way to Euphrates, United House of Abraham, Jews and Muslims working together for the benefit of each other to create a higher quality of life, And from that we'll proceed to unite the whole world together to one country, Israel. Does that sound to you a Zionist plan? Well, that's my God plan. So take it in the face, it's going to happen, because otherwise we will end up with nothing. Let me say your mic. We have a saying in Hebrew that says, whoever come to kill you, wake up early and make sure you stop him. Because one thing for sure is better one person dead than two. And when you come and talk about survival of the people, right, I'm talking to you about a war that will merge from United States, because naturally United States for the last century, all the way from Japan, Nagasaki, Hiroshima, then Korea, then Vietnam, and now we're talking about Middle East problems that they created and dealing with it, and the in the Middle East wasting their resources, $12.5 trillion that they could put to their own people. And to cover up this kind of mess that they have with $17.5 trillion at the moment, which I believe will rise up to $14 trillion, a lot above their yearly productivity, right? What will happen is that they will want to still stand to power or being a superpower. And I'm not caring about superpower. I believe that humanity should put life before power. And that should be upside down from the actual mindset that's going on at the moment. So in the end of the day, our main purpose in life is to bring that is the Middle East to one state solution, where we will live in peace and harmony and protect ourselves from the world. And once we achieve that, the whole world will be astonished and follow suit, because that's the situation is. Understand, we Jewish people, we've been for the last 2,000 years in diaspora, and nobody was happy with us nowhere. So we come back home and they call us occupiers, right? So that's okay. You can call us occupiers and you tell us not to talk about religion, and that's okay too. But I'm not talking to you about religion. I'm talking to you about world solution. A world solution that is written in our Torah. Exactly as it's written, it is going to be fulfilled. That is so that all these conspiracies are actually telling us to do so, to take our position. Go into these human rights sections, people that talk bashing Jewish people, talking anti-Semitism, kind of like being Holocaust deniers and all that, not understanding that we need the correction of the Holocaust rather than deny it, learn from it. So then we don't repeat another Holocaust. And I believe in America we are heading for another Holocaust against the Jewish people, because what do you do when you got an economical crisis? The first thing you go is after the Jews. Is it not? And that is because we are not fulfilling our purpose. For the last 2,000 years we were passive people. And now we are going to be actional people. So there's going to be a lot of change within the next 2 years. Mike is free.
Way to control the whole thing. So, like, fair enough, even in Israel, it must be that they've got the media to be able to control the population. But certain elite families in this world have got complete stranglehold of the world and are throttling it. So, whilst we all argue about the religions, then yeah, it's a way to distract from what's really going on. It's a way to stop us actually finding unity, because the religions are divided. But if the religions were one, and the Jews saw maybe that the Quran was actually part of their religion, maybe parts of the book have been changed, maybe things it's talking about aren't there. And the same with the Christian side of things, you know what I mean, that they managed to allow it to be a bit more open, but they don't want to change their belief system. The Christians aren't going to change their standpoint, and so we're not actually going to find a universal peace while we're all arguing against whose book is best. Do you know what I mean? And at the same time, the world's elite are happening to also profit from the whole thing, because there's billions invested in religion, isn't there? You know what I mean? Not microphone.
Well, belief are a powerful thing. You can learn, and you said it yourself, Jews control banks, Jews control the Federal Exchange, Jews control many, Hollywood, like you say, and I'm not going to not agree with you. We are very successful people because the background that we take upon ourselves is study the Torah and receive knowledge from the Torah. So I agree with you, 70% of gambling on the internet is owned by Jewish people. You understand? It's making money while you sleep. You don't have to work. Money make money. So can I speak to you arrogantly and say, I agree with you, okay? Listen to what the internet says. So learn from us. Let us teach you how to be successful. Do you think America would have $17.5 trillion debt if you gave the Jews the ability to teach you how not to get into debt? Because we Jews know how not to get into debt. And that is so, that is written in those days, every man from every nation will grasp the sleeve of a Jew and say, let us come with you because we know God is with you. And if God is with you, who could be against us? The whole idea of Christianity is that they took heritage, plagiarized it, and took it to Rome. And they thought they did the right thing. You understand? They fabricated a book and call it Jewish Messiah, which is not, okay? Because really, if you're talking about what's written, go to our rabbi. They'll tell you it's about Israel. It's not about Jesus. It's about the Jewish people. We got cut off 2,000 years ago. We've been persecuted by the Christian, so-called the one that expecting the Antichrist is the one that are the Antichrist, because the Messiah is the Jewish people. We are the one that are light to the nation. We are the firstborn of God. And they made a book saying that God sacrificed his firstborn. So to speak, we do not exist. We are cut off from God. We killed the Messiah. No, did we kill ourselves? Here we are. We resurrected out of the ashes of the Holocaust, and we built a country to this. Not even compared to Israel to America. Israel exists 60 years. America exists 2,000 years. Who is more successful, Israel or America? Where there is better democracy than America? Because America is theocracy. You could see the situation with the healthcare, that the Obama don't agree with democracy. He shut down the government to force democracy out of the window. That's theocracy. That's not democracy. It may have the psychology of democracy, but it's not. So what I can tell you is that everything is there watching itself to be fulfilled. However, fulfilled or not fulfilled, we're talking in a benefit, so then there will be peace in this world, and all these atrocities that's going on in this world will be stopped. So there will be a generation that nation will not raise a sword on another nation, because we'll be one nation, Israel. You understand? The whole world will be one Israel. That is the end plan. The plan at the moment is to make the Middle East one state solution, Israel. People will agree with it because people had 2,000 years of learning experience and finding out how and what and this, and did all the mistakes possible. Now people are fed up with it, plus the economic resources is gone. So we need to talk about making people life better, so then they can be productive in a full potential to achieve quality of life and benefit each other rather than benefit against each other. And that is what it is. It's going to happen. I believe so. Okay, and I don't have to be a prophet or anybody. I'm telling you that is very much a mathematical kind of like calculation that I have made and research that I made. And also I've been watching Obama for the last 5 years. I remember him talking about renewing the grid and making you solar panel so you can plug in your iPhones and all that, and then he will fix the education system, and then he will fix the healthcare within 6 months, and now it's 5 years and he shut down the government, not even for healthcare. Did he change anything? Nothing. He made a change, but that change is unrepairable for America. Sadly speaking, American will have to pay the price for it, and that's what it is. What will happen is that Jews would leave America and come and live in the Middle East. Muslim would leave America and come and live in the Middle East, and we all be hunky-dory. You will get what you want, and if you're not happy with the Mexican, we will call the Mexican to live in the Middle East also. So then you clean your houses and you babysit your children when you go out to a restaurant. However it is, this kind of things that's going on in this world will have a different reality to better the whole humanity, not just the Middle East. However it will happen, that's what will happen. We will see. 2 years from now, I'm telling you, if we don't achieve what we need to achieve, there will be World War III by America, because America is #1 enemy of the world. And as well as that, Christianity. Because Christianity believes in one person that is very much a rebel, and that character that they took upon themselves to believe in is a character that walking in a church today, making all this mess that's going on in Christian mindset, where is a delusion as well as identity crisis. That's why people hate religion, because of Christianity. Your mic, Wiz.
Kindly, Shalom. Proof of it, I don't know if you know, like Shakespeare and A Midsummer's Night's Dream. Within that, Shylock, I think it's Midsummer's Night's Dream. Oh no, Merchants of Venice. Sorry. In the Merchants of Venice, within it, Shylock was charging interest in the story. Now Shakespeare's like 500 years ago, isn't it? So we know that 500 years ago, they were still charging interest back then, which is then like, well, how does that work? How, if it's in the book, why aren't they following it? And this is something that's been going on for some time. We see it right back to the biblical age of Christ kicking out the moneylenders in the synagogues at that time. So within that, we've got a problem inherent in like the culture that's actually creating these problems. And then to have world peace when the whole world's in financial debt and can't afford to get out of it, so they're all having to keep paying and destroying nature itself to do so. Do you know what I mean? It could be easily solved by just actually following the book in the first place. You don't mind?
Well, it's Christianity that teach that Jesus going into the temple and turn the table and turn the money changer tables and all that. Okay, it's also teach that our father the devil and stuff like that. Yeah, and then it teach that in Mark chapter 3, you can go into a house of a strong man, tie him up. Don't worry, your sin will be forgiven because he died for you, for your sins. So God is good all the time. No, God is not good all the time. God punish you for your sins and reward you for your good deeds. We do not believe in a God that is only good. We believe in a God that is very much loving his children and discipline his children. Not a God that hates his children and does not discipline his children. But that's what the Christian believe. That's why there were so many atrocities against Jewish people for the last 2,000 years. So you want to tell me that you want a monetary system that will give money but will not charge interest? Yeah, that's what we're going to do in the Middle East. We're going to give money away without charging interest because we have all the money in the world to give. Do you get me? We will go to the Vatican and take what belonged to us, all the gold, all the artifacts that they stole from the temple 2,000 years ago, and bring it and restore it into Jerusalem. Because we will restore our heritage back to Jerusalem from Rome. And you will see me doing it myself, because I'm going to take the Pope to court and ask him to open the vault underneath the Vatican and give me the candlestick that is 120 kilo of gold, give me all the artifacts that they took, that is much more than that 120 of gold, and we will take the Federal Exchange to be in Israel. So if you look in United States of the Middle East, you will see there that I call it Operation Air Force One. I'm after the presidential Air Force One. So if you want to have a joyride in Air Force One, not with Obama, you'll have it with me. No problem. Call me crazy, okay? But what I talk to you is very, very realistic. I'm very actional. I'm not just talking on pal talk. I'm a person that's known by many people, and many people think I'm nuts. I'm out of my mind because I'm talking sense and I'm bringing sense to the sanity that there is in this world. So please don't get into this delusion that Jewish people will not charge you interest and you come along, take as much money as you like and say it's the Jewish people fault because they charge me interest. No. You want money? Give me profit. I am for profit. That's the natural thing of human business. Or you want to change human logical business and make it unlogical, and then I kind of like need to be your slave and have the knowledge better than you. No. If you are not studying and putting the time that Jewish people put to study, as well as having the right theology that bring you a right mind with a sanity, with a sane mind, right? Then this, but prove history that in the end of the day, somewhere I am making sense, because Jewish people, like you say, are all famous on the internet with so many Rothschild and Rothschild and wish I was a rich man and all that. That is all insult to what? It's like, you know, in a school when the teacher is teaching, everybody is bullying the geeks. But the geeks are the one that become rocket scientists and everybody else become drug dealers or drug addicts. And then they end up in jail dreaming to be the geeks that they bullied.
Hello? Hello?
Hello? Yeah, can I speak with Mr. Elmic?
Yes, speaking.
You are Mr. Elmic or Mrs.?
Who is it to know?
My name is Mark Thompson and I'm calling you from Tulip Communication, and I hope you remember you have requested to stop all the nuisance calls coming to your number. Do you remember?
Yes.
And today we are going to dispatch a letter to you confirming that we have done the registration and the TPS on behalf of you. We have also notified all the telemarketing companies not to call you, not to sell you anything.
Yes.
It means from tomorrow onwards you're going to start noticing that you are not getting any nuisance calls coming to your number. And with that purpose, you have already paid us one-off payment of £49 to our company, so you are not going to pay a single penny nor ever again in your life. There is no monthly land rental, there is no annual cost, there is no maintenance charge. It means you don't have to pay a single penny for the lifetime. And today we are going to dispatch the letter to you. So before dispatching the letter, I would like to verify your first name and your last name. Can you please repeat to me?
No.
Sorry?
No.
Why?
Because you are phoning from India and you are not a person that you say you are. You are telemarketing from India, trying to support yourself because you are poor, and I understand. Okay? But you are giving a bad name to India. Very bad name. Do you understand?
Yes, I can understand.
So
But
why do you do that? Excuse me. I did not pay any penny to your company.
Let me tell you that.
And I requested to stop any telecommunication through my phone line, nuisance phone call, and you are a nuisance phone call. Do you understand? I can read your mind.
I can understand.
No. Did you hear what I said?
Listen to me.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, I can understand.
I can read your mind. And what you are telling me from what you told me is that you are belonging to a group of call center in India. Okay, you are not the name you said you are. So you lied to me. Can you tell me your true name, please?
Okay,
No, excuse me, I'm talking now. Can you tell me your true name, please? I'm talking nice.
My name is Mark Thompson.
No, your name is not Mark Thompson.
What is it?
You were not born with this name. What did your mom call you? Do you want me to tell you your name?
Yes, definitely.
Sorry? No, you tell me your name first. Your real name.
My name is Mark Thompson. I already told you.
And where are you from? Where do you call from right now? Tulip Company.
London, West London, UK.
You phone from UK. You still lying to me?
Yes. No, definitely. See.
Hello?
I'm not lying to you.
Yes, you are. Because you are in India. You are not in West London.
I'm an Indian, but I'm living in UK. I'm calling you from the UK, West London.
Yeah, and that's a call center. What is the address of this Tulip Company you said?
It's Tulip Communication. I know this is a call
Yeah,
center.
Tulip Communication. Excuse me. You should not have a problem telling me your address.
Sorry?
You should not have a problem telling me your address.
You are just...
No, look, I know who you are. I know what you phone for. I know that you want to sell me something. I know that you are not the person you say you are. Wow, he closed the phone. This is the way to deal with telemarketing and all this call center from India. You have a nice day, people. If you want to support my cause, please go to PayPal. It's ashsweetmemories@sky.com. ashsweetmemories@sky.com. ASHELMI@sky.com. COM. That's it. He literally wanted to con me and steal my identity, and that's I want you to be trained so people will not do that in the internet. Take care and have a wonderful day. Monohuman faith. Remember, we are one. We are all for each other. And that number was 01133 916800. Today phoned me at 10:43 a.m. Today date is the 3rd of February 2014. Not like Tracy said 2913. Oh, Mr. Tracy. How could you make a mistake like that? Gave me the age of Adam. Thank you very much. You gave me a deja vu. I am as old as Adam, I suppose, and more than older than him, because I am 5,774 years of wisdom age. Of wisdom age. You have a nice day. Bye bye.